Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and today I'm going to be crafting with the Not Too Shabby box of the month. And what I thought I would do is these A2 card front panels we get a sampler pack of in the subscription box, and I thought it would be really cute to add a postage stamp border frame all the way around this and make it kind of feel like it's a postcard that maybe you would send to somebody. And so I thought I would start with, I think I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use what is probably my favorite die in the Easy Wonder die number 3 add-on, and that's this funny looking one here, which will actually cut you a custom postage stamp border so that you can make something like this, which is your own stamp, whatever size that you would like. So you could make one that, for example, this one will fit an A2 pretty nicely, and whatever size rectangle squares you would like, you can use that die to create a border for. Now, I'm going to show a really simple version where I think what I will do, I'll show you what I am thinking of. I'm going to use this one, and I think I'm going to have it a little bit off to the angle like this on my card, and then add a postage border frame to just these two corners. It's a more simple way of using this particular die, and that way you don't have to worry about how to line it up so that you get 4 cuts all the way around all 4 edges of a rectangle. But of course, that is an option if that's something that you want to do with that die. So I'm going to record this in real time just to show you that there's no tricks of the camera or anything. And I'll show you how to use that particular die. So let's start off with an A2 panel, because in order to see as much of this card front as possible, I think I'm going to start with an A2, and then I'll trim it down to size if I need. Because these card front panels are already A2 in size, I know I'm going to have to trim this a little bit in order to have a nice frame around it, but I'm thinking that I might like for it to be a little bit on a wonky angle. Let me see if that's the one I really want. I think that's the one I want. So let's start with our die and this panel. So all I'm gonna do is, and I definitely recommend using some low tack tape to really secure this die down. And what I'm gonna do is just aim to get all of the circles so that they're all covered by the paper. And what I'm looking to do is to make sure this is straight. So you can even just put, if you look at the die, there's a little bit of metal beyond the cut line. So if you want, you could just make sure that it's flush with the edge, and then that's going to ensure that it's nice and straight. And then same here too. I just want to make sure that's nice and straight as well. Okay. So you can see this fits very easily the entire length of the 5.5 inch edge, which means you'll be able to use it to cut the shorter edge of an A2 as well. So now let's run it through. Now I recommend when you're running this through your die cutting machine to always run it through so that it goes this way. That way it's going to give you a really easy, clean cut. If you run it through like this, all of these lines will hit the roller at the same time, and it may not have enough pressure to cut through everything. So I am just going to run it through like this. And get ready, because there's going to be a lot of little confetti pieces. And I'm planning just to do the 2 corners just to show you what you'll get when you use this die. So this doesn't cut all the way off on this end. And I made this so that it actually cuts a little slit so that you can continue that cut, and helps to line it up a little bit as you continue cutting along that edge. So brush off. Make sure to weed out all of those little circles so that the next time you cut through, your die is going to have an easier time to cut all the way through. So whatever's left, just poke those out. And then we just have to line this up and cut the second edge. Now for the second edge, I am going to have to use a larger die cutting machine. I'm not going to be able to fit this through my mini Empress because it has to go through the other direction. Okay, so let's get all that off to the side. So now I've got one edge cut like that. And what I want to do is line my die back up so that it starts, you can set it right back into that circle at the end, and it's got a little slit there. So it helps to get you going on the right track so that if it's all nestled in, it should be nice and straight and 90 degrees. And of course, if you want, you can always use your grid mat to help line that up as well and make sure that it is nice and straight. You can also eyeball the gap that's left on that edge there, just to make sure that it's nice and straight. Whatever tricks you need to do to get this nice and straight, you can use that. But nestling that right back into the last circle that we left off with will definitely help. And you can kind of look on the underside just to make sure that everything is indeed lined up. So you can see how that's lined up with the previous circle, and it'll just continue its cut. So now I'm going to run this through. Okay, so, and if you want, you can continue that along the last two corners, but I don't think I'm gonna need that because of the design that I want to do for this card. So there you have really fun Postage, custom sized postage stamp. And if you wanted, you can finish off those other two edges, but like I said, I don't think I'll need to do that for my card today. But that's what I wanted to demonstrate nice and in real time. So what I'll do is I'm going to speed up the rest of this video and complete my card. Okay, so before I get into the details of the rest of my card, I do want to mention that my video today is part of a giveaway hop. So if you want to win a gift certificate to shop at Not Too Shabby, then expand the description box below. You'll find a link where you can enter all of your information to be considered for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to shop at Not Too Shabby. Just expand that description box and you'll find that link. As well, in the description box will be a link to the collaboration playlist where you can find even more inspiration from my design teammates who are all crafting with the various subscriptions for this month. So you're going to find inspiration for the box, the paper pad club, and the stamp club as well. So be sure to check out everybody's video, and if you can leave them some love, that would be awesome. The other thing I want to mention is that the Easy Wonder Die number 3 collection goes on sale June 15th. So if you are interested in picking up these dies, then you can check the Not Too Shabby shop. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter if you want to be the first to get announced when the new dies go on sale, because Jamie always sends out a newsletter whenever new releases hit the shop. So I hope you'll pick up these dies and play with them yourself. And if you do, please share and tag your makes so that I can see what you've made with these amazing products, whether it's the box of the month, any of the subscriptions, or the Easy Wonder dies. I always love seeing what people do with the Easy Wonder dies. I do also have a Facebook community group where you can find even more inspiration featuring the Easy Wonder dies. And of course, I have a playlist full of video inspiration for my Easy Wonder dies as well. So I'm gonna continue on with my card here. As you can see, I added a matte layer using some pattern paper from the subscription box. This is from Blue Seas. So I picked one color that would be the background of my card front. And then I picked that really lovely blue color to be a bit of a border around my postcard frame. Now, it did mean that I had to trim down that postcard A2 card front panel quite a bit, but I wanted to frame it because at the very top of that card front, it's really light in color where the sky is, and I felt like it really needed some solid color or something close enough to solid color. And this is one of the reasons why I love this month's paper pads, because these sort of parchment texture pattern papers are just beautiful because they have some visual interest to them, a little bit of visual texture, but you can basically use them as solid color, but they're just more interesting than your plain old solid color cardstock. So absolutely love that. So I hope you enjoyed my video today. Happy hopping, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.